Welcome back, everybody. The Boys, Season 2, Episode 4. Not a lot happens big-wise, action-wise, but there are a lot of plot points. We have Mother's Milk, Huey, and Starlight on a road trip. Got Homelander dealing with Stormfront and his mental state. Billy going after his wife and finally finding her. Kimiko dealing with her revenge, her bloodlust for Stormfront. And we have some weird Scientology, Tom Cruise dating applications for The Deep and his new wife. So, Chris, what did you think about this week's episode?
Oh my gosh, I thought this episode was actually maybe even stronger than the previous 3 episodes just because so much happened with every character.
A lot of payoffs.
A lot of payoffs. And I want to say, I had sort of been complaining last week that, we're not getting some explanations of some of these things. One of my big things was Starlight, and Homelander. He was really, seeing that is she loyal to the team or not? And this week, there's a big confrontation in an elevator.
Save us.
I'm at my wit's end.
And she seems to convince him that she is on Team 7, and that seems to be good enough for him for now. Otherwise, she would definitely be dead in that elevator.
Oh, I thought that was a great character moment for her to show how strong she is by being smarter, by being wittier. She very cleverly, states her case. She's mad at Huey, and she feels like killing him, and she won't kill somebody in cold blood. And am I lying? No.
Exactly. None of those are lies, and she tapped into real emotions to get those words out. But luckily, he didn't dig any further because, there's probably some truths beyond that.
Butcher? What happened?
Finally got an explanation in episode 4 of why did Homelander leave Butcher alive, and it was his wife had basically threatened, I will kill myself in front of your son and tell him you made me do it.
How is she gonna actually convince him? She said, one time, I got him one time to take me serious and let you live, but it's not gonna happen again.
Yep, this is not gonna be an ongoing thing. He's not gonna let her manipulate him forever and ever, but he bought it once. So,
which is very believable.
Are you fucking with us?
Mother's Milk, I love that, that's one of the things I talked about in those first 3 episodes. We didn't get a lot of story with Mother's Milk. We got some nice moments with him in the first 3 episodes, but now this episode, we find out a real tangible emotional reason of why this is his fight. Man, did that just connect, and it felt so good because he's oftentimes the character that we feel like we're getting to know the least.
But he's also the most relatable, right?
He's
got his head most on his shoulders.
Yeah, he is the most reasonable of the boys. But
he's not
I
on
love,
drugs like Frenchie is,
Yeah, exactly. But I love getting this story about his dad and just kind of dying of just literally stress and age, trying to fight the powers that be, and how he inherited that fight. That resonated. I liked that moment. Homelander outing Maeve's sexuality. That was
such a dick move.
Just such a dick move. Wow, taking away, her privacy, taking away her agency.
While simultaneously threatening her by letting her know, you have no secrets from me.
Maeve is sometimes the one of the 7, despite being kind of number 2 in the 7.
She's very put upon. She's she doesn't really want to be doing all the things that they're doing. She's not as excited to be famous and rich as everyone else. It's just she's stuck now.
I really hope we get Maeve at some point standing up for herself in some way, because clearly, she's powerful, maybe not as powerful as Homelander, but at some point I hope she doesn't put up with everything that's happening.
How many more people have to die? What are we gonna do?
Stormfront is now having rallies, anti-Vought rallies. She's got.
What was Edgar's plan with inviting her? It's a weird strategy. I'm not really sure what's going on the Vought end of those things.
Yeah,
I get what she's doing. She's stirring up, as she said, 5 million soldiers as opposed to your 50 million fans, Homelander. They talked to that one lady whose brother, somebody was killed by Lady Liberty, who now might be
brother.
Stormfront or her mom, or
is Stormfront ageless, or what's the deal here? Yeah, we don't have an answer on that, but she does say to Homelander back in the day, where she makes some kind of weird reference that makes it sound like she's older than she is. So something's going on with Stormfront.
Wait, I found Becca. Vought facility armed to the teeth. Won't be easy.
This whole series is it's Butcher's vendetta. The first season is Butcher wanting to get revenge on Homelander for killing his wife. And then we find out, oh, his wife's alive. And this season is definitely setting up Butcher finding out where are they keeping his wife, which we do in this episode. And then he sneaks onto that compound, which is, I've got to say, their security, not top notch. But regardless, he manages to meet his wife to get her attention. They meet out where there's no cameras and have a very, tender, wonderful moment. But then she comes back and they're going to escape together. But she
points out the problem with Billy Butcher. The thing that as an audience we love how cantankerous he is and how down for a fight and speaks his mind, and he's just great.
And can't hold back his emotions.
Which is very toxic and turns very dangerous. She can't open up to him about anything that happens to her without worrying he's gonna fly off the handle.
And I mean, what she points out is he clearly would not accept her son into his life, if not because he's not the father, because the kid has superpowers and he is very anti-soup, kid or not. So and
for me, I found that surprising. I was like, oh wow, he really is that predisposed to hatred when it comes to superheroes. He
just sees them as weapons. They are biological weapons, and he couldn't deny it because that was the truth. Like, he will not accept that child, and he knows that child is worth billions of dollars to Vought, and they're never going to let the kid go, whereas they might let her go. But she won't leave her son. Got to respect that decision, especially she says it. Do we want another Homelander? Because that's exactly what would happen if she leaves the kid. And then we get a wonderful, and by wonderful I mean really creepy, Tom Cruise. Let's find a wife for the Deep, so he's more socially acceptable.
Yeah.
Neither did
I had no idea what they were doing with that.
We're getting these little cutaways, the whole episodes of like, oh, people talking about what does love mean for you, or like your past bad relationships and all this weird stuff, and just randomly cut in throughout the episode, and then finally get the payoff at the end. They're like, oh, the weird not Scientology cult is interviewing possible wives so that the Deep can get back on the path that PR. I love everybody. It's always about PR. You're Scientology, you're the Seven, you're Vought, you're whatever. PR. The boys need PR. Hashtag something.
I just like how he's such an idiot that he wants the sexy girl and not the wholesome one. He doesn't get anything.
No, he doesn't understand what the purpose is.
Perfect. Chase Crawford's great at this.
You stay dumb, the Deep. You stay dumb.
Out of what? Out of 7.
Homelander tells A-Train, you're out. But they kind of get publicly accused of being a not particularly racially sensitive, just superheroes in general are not a very racially inclusive, which I love that that's both an in-universe attack, but also kind of a little bit of a jab at comics in general. To the boys, when they're clever and pointed with their criticism, they are clever and pointed with their criticism.
Ain't you twits lucky that I showed up?
Homelander is having Doppelganger pretend to be Elizabeth Shue's character and creepy drinking milk scenes with her, but they also have him getting all worked up while watching Taxi Driver, which that kind of that incel kind of winking comment about just people who maybe get violent because they feel
this is what happens when you don't show somebody respect. I'm like, oh, you're identifying with Travis Bickle. That's such a 12-year-old mentality.
Very Homelander, though.
I'm the face of the 7, not you.
Well, and he's such a narcissist at the end when Doppelganger looks like him. You can see he's so attracted to the idea of sleeping with himself, but he also hates himself, which is kind of the weird flip of the narcissist coin. And so he ends up killing Doppelganger. And it's love perfect Homelander.
What he says to him, like, before he kills him is like, you're so pathetic. And he kills him like, are you talking to Doppelganger? Are you talking to yourself? Who are we talking to there? Doesn't matter. Go see a
Definitely
shrink.
Himself.
Definitely himself.
Go see a shrink. I think the funniest moment in the episode was Noir and the computer girl.
Yes.
That was killing me. That was super funny. He doesn't
say anything, but she knows, oh, he wants my candy. Oh, and he also wants me to spend the next 12 hours straight, chugging Red Bull and tracking down Billy Butcher. We know what happens when Noir gets on the chase. There's definitely going to be some kind of showdown here at some point of Noir and Butcher. So let's see how he gets out of that one.
We can't just kill everyone.
That's exactly what we're gonna do.
Touching moments were between Starlight and Huey on the road trip.
Yeah.
I really like them together, and I have to say,
too.
Jack Quaid is fantastic. He does all the little things really great. I really
Yeah.
feel for him,
Yeah.
and they're great together. So.
They are. Although now she is insistent that they can't really be together because it'll make them weak. We got to be strong. We can't be having these moments of weakness, of needing each other. So every Starlight needs her Huey. Ooh, I
Hey.
don't know what's...
They didn't start the fire.
Noted.
And if you want some more of this fire, give us a subscribe, give us a like. We're going to have episode 5 coming up next week. We'll have that out as soon as we can. Our goal is same day as the episode comes out. So join us. Another recap and review next week.